Burnt Maiduguri Monday Market. President Buhari calls for comprehensive report to provide succor to victims. Commissions Maiduguri Emergency Power Project.
Your Excellency, I cannot remember the number of projects I commissioned during your first tenure. These laudable projects are impressive. I think the governor deserves another term.
Congratulatory messages pour in for President-elect as opposition parties work the part of redress.
The United States congratulates the people of Nigeria. This competitive election represents a new period for Nigerian politics and democracy.
Human Rights Commission calls for calm.
Us as a commission, we insisted that this time around, the issues to be discussed on the table must include human rights issues.
Plus, Network of African Parliamentarians for Defense and Security Committees commends Nigeria's effort at addressing insecurity on the continent. Hello and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. We are live in Abuja. I am Jumma Yusuf. Hingino John Adams joins me from our Lagos Network Center. Thanks for joining us. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development have been directed to submit a comprehensive report on the Maiduguri Monday Market completely razed down by fire last weekend. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the directive while on a fact-finding and sympathy visit to the market, said this is necessary to enable the federal government take appropriate and adequate measures towards bringing succor to the victims. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that Vice President-elect Senator Kashim Shettima was among those that received the president in Maiduguri.
Built in 1979, the Monday Market in Maiduguri, Borno State capital, caught fire in the early hours of Sunday, the 26th of last month. The inferno, whose cause is yet to be ascertained, left in its wake all the 12,000 shops in the market completely destroyed. President Muhammadu Buhari, who flew in to Maiduguri from Daura to see things for himself, was informed by Governor Babagana Umar Zulum of Borno State that none out of the 12,000 members of the market community saved anything.
Borno State government has provided the immediate humanitarian support of 1 billion naira. Even the 1 billion naira, if they can share even 50,000, I don't think it can opt to do something for them. On this note, let me once again express my deep appreciation to you for personally coming here to commiserate with the good people of Borno State over the fire incident.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, said although her ministry and her agencies activated an emergency response mission, nothing had been rescued from the market fire disaster.
Assessment is ongoing, Your Excellency. We have provided relief support in terms of food items, 20,000 bags of rice, 20,000 bags of maize, condiments, and the rest for just the immediate succor for now. And I have directed that the assessment should continue, and we are going to also support with building materials in collaboration with the state government.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who expressed grief over the destruction caused by the inferno, said the nation's prayers and condolences are with the hard-working traders and their families who have virtually lost their means of livelihood, while commending the Borno State government and all those who responded immediately to the unfortunate calamity by bringing relief to the affected traders. The President directed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to hasten the submission of his assessment report to his office for necessary action. He, however, urged state and federal government agencies responsible for fire management to strive towards higher levels of preparedness, mitigation efforts, and strengthening their response mechanisms towards dealing with the increasing menace of market and other fire disasters. During the visit, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated several infrastructure projects executed by the Zulum administration. These include the 5.3-kilometer dualized Ahmadu Bello, Shehu Sandakura, Lafia and Mogoram Road, new 500 shops, ultra-modern market and motor park along Bama Road, 24 units, doctors' quarters built by the Zulma administration for the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, 1.9-kilometer Bolori Market Road, as well as the state-of-the-art Cancer Center, one of the largest in West Africa, built by the federal government for the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital.
Your Excellency, I cannot remember the number of projects I commissioned during your first tenure. These notable projects are impressive. I think the governor deserves another term.
The government and people of Borno State are in total support of your reform agenda, aimed at addressing the drift in our national economy and to restore our confidence in the capacity of government to bring about the desired transformation in our lives. Indeed, your policies and programs have repositioned our dear country to its rightful place in the Committee of Nations.
Witnessed the handover of relief materials provided by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to Borno State Government for victims of the Monday Market Fire disaster. From Maiduguri, Borno State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Things will continue to get better for the people living with disabilities, especially with the execution of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Act signed by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019. Now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said when he received a delegation of the community of people living with disabilities in the FCT. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
It is a thank you visit to the Vice President by representatives of the community of persons with disabilities residing in the Federal Capital Territory.
We have been receiving several of your assistance, donations, help to the community. We cannot even mention or know how to appreciate you, sir.
One dream that has come true for the community is the securing of land in F. Today, they have been presented with land document. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says government has the duty to provide for persons with disabilities, which the office takes seriously. A reason for the creation of the Community Engagement Team in the office of the Vice President, headed by Dr. Ebiawushika and Halima Bawa.
We believe that the right, it is right, as a matter of law, as a matter of government policy, and our government has a policy that we must make provision, we must provide for those who have disabilities and who for some reason or the other may not be able to work in a way that those who have who are fit in every way, who have no disabilities work. There are many people with disabilities who do the same work. There are some who cannot. So it's the duty of government to make provision. Well, it's not. We do not have a budget. There's no real budget, which is why we have to keep looking here and there for. But I believe very strongly that the time will come when proper budgeting will take place.
The Vice President also speaks on the need for continuity of policies put in place to protect and care for the people, especially those that are less privileged. The delegation on behalf of the community thanked President Muhammadu Buhari and the Vice President for the social policy programs put in place for the less privileged and the vulnerable in the country. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu says the best way to appreciate his supporters and Nigerians for his victory in the just concluded presidential election is to work hard towards strengthening the unity of Nigeria. The president-elect made the commitment as he received the National Working Committee of his party, the All Progressives Congress, on a congratulatory visit. Musbau Danwahab reports.
Tinubu was confirmed the president-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A lifelong ambition becomes a reality. Those who have been with the president-elect every step of the way are equally basking in the joy of accomplishment. Among the early callers, the National Working Committee members of the APC, led by the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, rejoiced with their successful candidate in his new status.
That will open up avenues, limitless opportunities for Nigeria. I can't thank you.
The president-elect appreciated the support and commitment of the party members, particularly the NWC. For the first time, Tinubu expressed disappointment for losing Lagos State to the opposition. But he said he read between the lines and deduced the need to urgently reinforce the unity of the country in his mission to forge a greater Nigeria.
I promise you, it's going to be a fair government, guided by the rule of law, justice, and fairness. It's going to be a hard work from day one, and we all together join hands to build a promise in Nigeria.
Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Ibrahim Gambari, also came calling.
To just reaffirm the congratulations of the President and to wish him well, and to, of course, recognize that we have a lot of challenges as a country, but we shall overcome. And with his background and experience, right person to lead us at the right time. And we wish him all the very best in bringing us back together, including those who may not have voted for him because he's now the president-elect of the whole of Nigerians.
Some current and former governors, including Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, former governors Aliyu Wamako of Sokoto, and Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State, also registered their presence. It is the first day of visit to the president-elect since he received his certificates of return from INEC. Unexpectedly, this has just opened the gate for visitors on such mission in days to come. In Abuja, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
Meanwhile, National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Adamu, says the party's victory at the presidential election for the third time within 10 years of its formation has showcased the development of democracy in Nigeria. He addressed the media at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja, where he dedicated the party's presidential victory to all Nigerians. Saliu Gwanara tells us more.
It is about a year now that the current leadership of the governing All Progressives Congress took over the affairs of the party. The dynamics and outcome of the just concluded presidential election and the performance of the party did not come as a surprise to members of the National Working Committee.
The fact that we lost some major states, like Lagos, like Kaduna, like Nasarawa, and we did not cry foul, makes us the real political party in this country.
Like other stakeholders, Abdullahi Adamu appealed to Nigerians, particularly the political gladiators, to demonstrate the spirit of sportsmanship in the interest of the country.
Call for the cancellation of the elections over the unproven allegations of electoral fraud must be the height of their political desperation. All the 20 citizens of this country who value peace and unity of purpose must rise with one voice to condemn these elements who want to parade themselves in the public space as the guardians of our electoral system.
The leadership encouraged General to ensure peaceful electoral process during the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Still talking political matters, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, has announced his decision to challenge the results of the presidential election in court. This was during his interaction with newsmen in Abuja. Ekene Ndului was there.
It is the first time the presidential candidate of the Labour Party will be making a public appearance since the February 25 elections. And this interface with the media is to share his thoughts on the election processes as conducted by INEC, which he says he will be challenging in court. Mr. Peter Obi, however, commended Nigerians for coming out en masse in last Saturday's election, charging them not to lose hope in the journey for a new Nigeria.
Let me humbly and most respectfully appeal to all Nigerians to remain peaceful, law-abiding, and conduct themselves in most responsible manner. Please be assured that Dati and I, and indeed all of us, this is not the end, but the beginning of the journey for a birth of new Nigeria.
With the second round of polls less than 2 weeks away, Peter Obi told his supporters to cast their ballot for Labour Party.
We have elections coming up on the 11th. I enjoy you to go out, campaign. I assure you that I will be part of it. I assure you that I'm totally committed for a better future in this country.
As the Labour Party presidential candidate took his leave, he left behind a message of peace and confidence in the Nigerian judiciary. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA.
Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the just concluded 2023 general elections, Atiku Abubakar, says the processes and outcome of last Saturday's election was grossly flawed and as such must be challenged by all. Atiku Abubakar was addressing the media in Abuja in reaction to the declaration of the All Progressives Congress APC candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu as winner of the exercise by INEC. Onoto Yakubu reports.
This is Atiku Abubakar's first public appearance since the conduct and announcement of winner of the presidential election. The PDP candidate noted that the 2023 presidential election presented Nigerians with a great opportunity for a reset. And Atiku Abubakar said everything went well for the country, such as the legal framework in the 2022 Electoral Act and the introduction of BVAS technology, as well as turnout of Nigerians in their numbers for the exercise. He disclosed that he is consulting with his party members and relevant stakeholders to determine the next line of action on the outcome of the exercise.
The weekend election was neither free nor fair. Of course, our lawyers are studying the results, of the election, and we await for their advice. So whatever they advise, then the party will meet, and then we decide the next line of action.
Atiku Abubakar appealed to his supporters and youths of the country to remain calm, vigilant, and resolute in the days ahead. In Abuja, Onoto Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Social Democratic Party, SDP, says it stands with INEC on the declaration of the APC candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the winner of the 2023 presidential election. Kenneth Nanim reports that in a press briefing in Abuja, the party, however, expressed the willingness to contest the outcome of the National Assembly elections in the court of law.
The presidential and National Assembly elections have come and gone, with the winners and losers. The Social Democratic Party, SDP, has accepted the victory of Ahmed Bola Tinubu of the APC in the presidential election, which it came sixth.
Despite the shortfall, as I have mentioned, beavers problem, transmission problem, we stand by the declaration pending the outcome of the court judgment. We will contest the Senate and the House of Reps seats that we know clearly we have won, and we are getting our facts together. The SDP called for political class and general public to eschew violence in their actions and pronouncements. And in the larger interest of our country, we call on President-elect in his strategic consideration to take deliberate and practical steps in uniting the country.
SDP acknowledged the media for adequate coverage of the election and urged all its supporters to be calm as it continues to strategize to win more seats in the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
We'll take a breather. More on NTA Network News when we return. Do stay.
Are you a dealer in cars, jewelry, precious metals and stones and luxury goods? Are you into real estate, or are you an estate agent, surveyor, valuer, developer or broker? Are you into the hospitality industry, lottery business, or are you a mortgage broker, tax consultant or an accountant? Do you have a supermarket, pools betting and consulting or construction company? If you have, go and obtain your certification from the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCML, and be free to do your business within the ambits of the law. SCML has the responsibility to monitor, supervise, and regulate the activities of designated non-financial business and professions, DNFBPs, across the country. Please note that the SCML certificate is not a guarantee of legitimacy of any business. To register, visit www.scml.org. For collection of certificate, visit any EFCC office nearest to you. Remember, registration is free.
SCML, securing Nigeria's business environment. This message is from Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
We are committed to the unity of our great country, Nigeria.
Let us support our armed forces. Let us stand together with them. Let us stand for them. Our symbol of unity, the gallant men and women of the armed forces on land, air, and sea, who have continuously put their life on the line, protecting our lives, humanity, and nationhood.
Let us join them and stick together
as one, irrespective of
our misunderstanding, be it political, cultural, or ideological.
Our uniqueness is our oneness, our strength
is our diversity.
Let us stand by, stand with, and support our armed forces to keep this nation together.
Nigeria is my own. Nigeria is your own. Nigeria is our own.
I gladly express my profound gratitude to you, my good people of Yobe North Senatorial District, for asserting your satisfaction with my stewardship by once again electing me on Saturday as your senator. Our journey together has been long, and yet on Saturday you renewed the mandate for the 5th consecutive time to represent you at the Senate. Even more remarkable, the volume of the votes, 91,318 votes, and margin of victory, 74.7% of a total valid votes that you gave me on Saturday were unprecedented since our journey together started. As I have done from the beginning, I consider representing you in the National Assembly a great privilege and responsibility for which I'll always be grateful. Your massive show of love and trust will spur me to strive to do more as a representative of our beloved Yobe North Senatorial District and Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My special thanks goes to our Governor, His Excellency Mai Malabuni, for his love and untiring support to ensuring that the Yobe North Senatorial District pool is contested by someone that the people of Yobe North believe and trust. And I also salute our great party, the All Progressives Congress APC, both at the state and national levels, for believing in me. My sincere appreciation to all members of our party in Yobe North for nominating me in the first instance and standing firm by me to fly the party's flag in the general elections. I also thank our royal fathers and all my friends and political associates for their guidance, support, and prayers before, during, and after the polls. Once again, I thank you all, and may Allah bless you all. This announcement was signed by Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, PhD, GCON, Saddan Nambade, President of the Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All I need to say about the second River Niger Bridge, 21 years ago, as I came onto this throne, it will normally take you 3 to 4 hours to cross the bridge. I mean, if you are going to Lagos, you spent almost half your time on the bridge, and you were stuck on the bridge before you came across from Asaba this morning. Now, could you imagine how the people of Onitsha and Asaba have endured such a situation for over 25-30 years? This is reality. We cannot overestimate the importance of the second River Niger bridge, to express appreciation to our president, Muhammad Buhari, for being the vehicle for the execution of this monumental project.
You're welcome back. The All Progressives Congress APC Presidential Campaign Council has welcomed decisions of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi to head for court over the presidential election. In a statement by Bayo Onanaga, Director, Media and Publicity of the APC-PCC, the victory of Mr. Obi in some strongholds of both the APC and the main opposition PDP like Lagos, Nasarawa, Plateau and Delta State is an indication that the poll was transparent and credible. Onanaga adds that the Labour Party could not have won the presidential election after failing to appeal to a section of Nigeria's pluralistic society, particularly the Northwest and Northeast, where the party had no agents and did not sign the result sheets as required by law. He alleged that the APC also has evidence of voter suppression in the South-South and Southeast against its supporters and is ready to meet Peter Obi in court while proclaiming the readiness of the president-elect to assume office and serve the people of Nigeria with sincerity and honor. Meanwhile, a report reaching us says the APC-PCC has described the briefing of the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, as dead on arrival. The Tinubu-Shatima Campaign Council says Atiku Abubakar has breached the zoning principle within his party by insisting on running for president when there was clearly against the mood of the nation. Even after emerging as a candidate, the PDP itself continued to rub insult on the faces of southern leaders in the party by insisting on keeping the position of the national chairman in the north. The statement added that it led to the rebellion of the G5 and their subsequent sabotage of the PDP before the polls and at the polls by campaigning against him. The statement also pointed out that it was he that fractured PDP into three parts, with Konkoso and Obi breaking away to the NMPP and the Labour Party. Nigerians have since seen through the ambition of Atiku Abubakar. The statement adds that it is merely self-serving. Hence, he has run for presidency at every point in time in the last 30 years, irrespective of the zoning tilt of the nation, following his successful failures and rejection by Nigerians in different elections. The statement further said it should be clear to him by now that he is simply unelectable. The expositions relating his self-confessed mode of siphoning public funds whilst in office through SPVs further dented his aspiration before Nigerians. The statement added that Atiku Abubakar's decision to challenge the outcome of the results is welcome, and the APC are prepared to meet his challenges no matter the nature of the challenge, anywhere and anytime. Now, the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, congratulates the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who will take over the mantle of leadership come May 29, 2023. In a statement, the First Lady expressed confidence that the President-elect will lead Nigeria into the future that its founding fathers envisioned. She also congratulates the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima and applauded the important role of women for voting the candidates of the APC. Meanwhile, the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, has received the wife of President-elect Senator Oluremi Tinubu and the wife of the Vice President-elect Nana Kashim Shettima, congratulating them for the victory of the Tinubu-Shettima ticket in the just concluded Saturday general elections. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
The wife of the President-elect Senator Oluremi Tinubu alongside the wife of the Vice President-elect Nana Shettima were in the State House on a thank-you visit to the First Lady for all the support for the massive mobilization of the Nigerian women from all over the country for the victory of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. Senator Oluremi Tinubu acknowledged the motherly role of the First Lady towards achieving this huge success, calling on her to continue with the guide as a mother of the nation.
We came in first to congratulate our mother for the victory that we recorded at the polls. We want to thank you sincerely for how you've been able to bring us together as a campaign team for the APC, especially the Women Presidential Campaign Team. You've really shown a lot of wisdom, dexterity, courage in the way you put us together. And that showed, the professional way and the understanding that you do have in being, championing the cause of women.
The First Lady, Aisha Buhari, in her response, congratulated the wife of the President-elect and her sister, the wife of the Vice President-elect, expressing gratitude to God for this victory. Mrs. Buhari added that she is confident that the President and the Vice President-elect will never disappoint the trust of Nigerians and the APC.
Your Excellency, my sister, we count on your experience and interest in promoting the cause of women, girls, and youth of Nigeria. The task is odious and challenging, but with your determination and God guidance, I believe is surmountable. I pray that come May 29, your position as the First Lady will be marked with joy and continuous success. We look forward to the advancement of Nigerian women and their inclusion in all affairs of the nation's development.
Other stakeholders of the party, as well as governors' wives, lend their voices in rejoicing with the First Lady and the wife of the President-elect, assuring them of their continued support for nation building and national integration. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Congratulatory messages continue to pour in from world leaders, including United States, British Prime Minister, and ECOWAS, to identify with Nigeria following the conduct of the 2023 presidential and parliamentary elections. Musa Baba Aliu has details of the messages.
The first to send his congratulatory message is the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. The Prime Minister, in a statement published on his Twitter handle, congratulated the Nigeria's President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his election, stating that his country is looking forward to working with the new administration. This, he said, will include opening up opportunities for businesses, security, and creating prosperity for both countries. Similarly, the United States government congratulated the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all political leaders, and Nigerians for the successful conduct of the presidential and parliamentary elections.
The United States congratulates the people of Nigeria, President-elect Tinubu, and all political leaders following the declaration by Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission, or INEC, on the results of the February 25th presidential election. This competitive election represents a new period for Nigerian politics and democracy. Each of the top 3 candidates was the leading vote getter in 12 states, a remarkable first in Nigeria's modern political era, reflecting the diversity of views that characterize the campaign and the wishes of Nigeria's voters. We understand that many Nigerians and some of the parties have expressed frustrations about the manner in which the process was conducted and the shortcomings of technical elements that were used for the first time in a presidential election cycle in Nigeria. Nigerians are clearly within their rights to have such concerns and should have high expectations for their electoral processes. We join other international observers in urging INEC to improve in the areas that need the most attention ahead of the March 11th gubernatorial elections.
There was also a message from the chair of the Economic Community of West African States and the president of Guinea-Bissau, Umaru Sissoko Embalo. He appealed to all the stakeholders in the Nigeria's presidential election to promote peace and to use constitutional means to address any grievances. The ECOWAS chair, in a congratulatory message on behalf of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government, felicitated with Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his election as president in the just concluded elections in Nigeria. In a message sent by the President of the Niger Republic, Mohamed Bazoum, paid a personal tribute and warm regards to the people of Nigeria for their irrevocable commitment to democracy. He said the free, democratic, and transparent election reinforces the anchoring of democracy in Nigeria and constitutes great progress for the entire African continent. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The Oba of Benin, Oba Ore II, on behalf of the Royal Courts of Benin, Royal Family and Traditional Council of Benin, congratulates the President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his victory at the polls. In a congratulatory message, the Oba wishes the President-elect well in the tasks ahead and describes the victory as one well-deserved and a victory for all Nigerians, given the antecedent of Asiwaju Tinubu as a foremost nationalist who did his best to better Lagos State. Oba Ore expresses confidence that the president will excel in his mandate as a unifier. Meanwhile, Minister of Sports and Youth Development Sunday Dare has congratulated the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his running mate, Senator Kashim Shettima, over their victory at the presidential election. In a statement, the minister said, having worked closely with the President-elect, he believes in how much passion he has for Nigeria and his desire to help the poor. He restated that Nigerians have picked a more cerebral and compassionate leader to carry forward the work that has been done by President Muhammadu Buhari in the last 8 years. He called on men and women of conscience to see the election as a process, and Nigeria cannot afford another crisis. Now, elections for the Presidential and House of Representatives were held and concluded recently, with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress, APC, emerging as the President-elect. Nigerians from across the country have continued to share their opinions on the victory. Ruth Agwele compares the report.
Nigerians have continued to express their satisfaction over the victory of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the President-elect. Our correspondent, Mohammed Umar Ajingi, reports that supporters in Kaduna say it is a victory for all Nigerians as they have confidence in the ability and capacity of Asiwaju to deliver.
He's a man that helps people, and I know that's what we continue to do for us.
They deserve to be given that particular mandate, and they got the mandate, so I don't have any fear. I believe honestly that they will definitely serve this country very well. It is time to start thinking of how to move Nigeria forward to stabilize the economy. We are quite confident that the President-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is going to give a very, very good qualitative leadership.
Similarly, in Ibadan, correspondent Shola Wahid sampled the opinions of some stakeholders on the just concluded election that saw the emergence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect.
Those who have won have been elected on behalf of all of us, including those who have lost. And therefore, in their victory, they should show a lot of temperance.
Next election should be less tense. Everyone should ensure that the peace is maintained.
In Ilorin, the people of Kwara State have also reacted to the declaration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect. Abdulafiz Alaya reports that some residents commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for declaring the winner of Saturday's presidential election, despite efforts at scuttling the process, describing it as a true reflection of the popular mandate.
The President of Nigeria said that you have to have 25% in 24 states, and you have to have the highest number of votes in the country, and he had it, so he deserves it.
Any of them deserve it. So it has fair to Asiwaju hand. Now they should join hand. Let's move Nigeria forward.
You have to bury your personal interest and support this president-elect now. And the president-elect, you cannot do it alone. You have to accommodate opposition.
However, reactions have continued to trail following the outcome of the presidential election. Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
The National Human Rights Commission is urging Nigerians to be patient with the electoral process. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Tony Ojukwu, said this in Abuja during the monthly review forum geared towards voter mobilization for the 2023 elections.
You recall that before 2023 general elections, human rights issues were not part of the election issues on the table discussed. But for us as a commission, we insisted that this time around, the issues to be discussed on the table must include human rights issues. You saw us organize presidential town hall on human rights, which had never happened in this country before. You saw us also organize gubernatorial town halls on human rights, which are all precedent-setting initiatives by the Commission.
Conversations at the forum dwelt majorly on complaints received by the Human Rights Situation Room with regards to the presidential and National Assembly elections. Now, in furtherance of the federal government's commitment towards tackling power sector problems aimed at guaranteeing stable as well as uninterrupted supply of electricity for enhanced socio-economic well-being, an emergency power project has been inaugurated in Maiduguri, Borno State. President Muhammadu Buhari, who performed the ceremony, said it is in fulfillment of his promise. His administration has laid a solid foundation for strong and prosperous Nigeria through the National Energy Sufficiency Program. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The gas plant emergency power project was executed by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to supply 50 megawatts of electricity to Maiduguri and environs. The project is part of an incremental 4,000 megawatts of power generating assets embarked upon by the Buhari presidency to improve national power supply and stimulate economic growth.
The combined effects of the Maiduguri emergency power project and the emplacement of the transmission lines makes Maiduguri the most sufficiently provided capital city in the country today. And obviously, it is a new power hub in the region. We may very soon see power exports to neighboring countries from Maiduguri.
We're not joking at NNPC when we say we are here to give you energy. We are here to give you energy for today, energy for tomorrow, and energy for the future.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended the NNPC Limited for what he called its purposeful response towards the restoration of reliable power supply to Maiduguri within the shortest possible time. Following the attacks on power lines by insurgents along Maiduguri-Damaturu and Maiduguri-Dambuwa-Biu roads, over the years, Maiduguri and environs had experienced acute power supply shortages, thereby crippling economic activities in the region.
The aggressive project strategy deployed to complete this project on schedule is a total reflection of the federal government's sensitivities in identifying and easing the plight of Nigerians, particularly those recovering from the adverse impact of the insurgency in the northeast region.
The President directed the Ministry of Power and other relevant agencies to continue to collaborate with the NNPC Limited towards ensuring that millions of Nigerians access affordable electricity in the short time. He described the newly inaugurated power plant as an integral part of the huge successes being recorded by the Presidential Power Initiative.
I want to assure you, Nigerians, of the federal government's resolve to continue to implement programs, particularly in power sector, that will deepen domestic gas utilization, extend national power generation capacity, revitalize industries, and create multiple jobs for economic growth.
The joy and appreciation of the good people of Borno State to this benevolence of federal government cannot be overstressed. Mr. President, we are also most grateful to see one of us, Senator Kashim Shettima, emerge as the Vice President-elect under your guidance and leadership.
President Buhari, accompanied by the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima and Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, had on arrival in Maiduguri paid homage on the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbay El Kanemi, at his palace. He described as pleasing that Borno State continues to strive for the normalization of its affairs following the enormous successes achieved in tackling the problem of security that had reached worrying heights in the past. Both the Shehu of Borno and the state governor, Babagana Zulum, attributed the return of peace to the state to the untiring efforts by the president, saying they cannot thank him enough.
As at now, no single local government in Borno is under control of Boko Haram. We are grateful to Your Excellency.
Now, the security situation is almost over. This year, people have cultivated their lands, even in the shores of the Lake Chad.
This is the 6th visit by President Muhammadu Buhari to Borno State in the last 4 years. From Maiduguri, Borno State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Time to join Hingino in our Lagos Network Center for more reports. Hello, Hingino.
It is Jubilee All Progressives Congress in Lagos who gathered at the party secretariat after their candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu was declared the president-elect. Lanre Bileyi, who was at the party secretariat, brings details.
Having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner.
With the announcement of the APC candidate as president-elect, I promptly went to the state secretariat in Ikeja, Lagos to get reactions from party members. I met the chieftains of the party discussing the election and consolidation of their activities. They described the victory as hard-won and that they have learned to shift the dynamics of politicking to become more detailed, strategic, and inclusive.
I must be sincere with you. After the election, last week Saturday, it has been very, very tense. But we are hopeful that with what our candidate has done, with the sort of mobilization and the assurance, and along with the acceptability of the candidate, we are pretty sure that he's going to win.
I don't think we've had such an election in recent times. Maybe because of the beavers and because of the enlightenment of the electorate themselves. And that is what we are saying. Once the demographics change, we must also have some changes.
Right here at the Lagos State Party Secretariat of the APC in Ikeja, it's been congratulatory message, imparting each other at the back, breathing a sigh of relief that their candidate is now the president-elect, that is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In Lagos, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
In line with the federal government's plan to achieve zero hunger in the country, a non-governmental organization, Harvesters Africa Empowerment Foundation, has, through its Project Smile initiative, provided about 2,000 residents of Lagos State with various food items. Lorita Arinze Egwim reports.
Distribution of food items to the indigents and the needy, with the hope of bringing smiles to their faces, has been one of the focal points of the Harvesters Africa Empowerment Foundation. The monthly program tagged Project Smile Initiative has been to places across Africa, and it is the turn of people of Bagada area, Lagos, to benefit from the gesture. Philomena Daniel and Temitope Ibikunle are among the 2,000 beneficiaries of the monthly feeding program.
I have collected rice, groundnut oil, gari, and also sachet tomato.
It's going to help my family in so many ways, because at this period that we are experiencing so much hardship, not only in my home, but in the majority's home.
For the past 1 month, things have been very difficult for me and my family. But with this now, I really thank God that they thank the church also.
Yes, it's a surprise to me, because me, I never know the same way I go chop and my children.
For the team head of the foundation, February 2023 feeding program is crucial in the lives of these beneficiaries, as it will help in alleviating sufferings occasioned by the cash crunch.
For us is that our dream is not just to even make this monthly, is to have soup kitchen where we constantly begin to do feeding programs daily for people, where people can walk in, eat.
The foundation is optimistic that if social impact investors deploy their resources into critical sectors of the economy like agriculture, health, education, security, and youth empowerment, the expected sustainable development goals will be easily actualized in Africa. In Lagos, Lorita Rizegwim, NTA News.
Time now for some messages. The news will be back with the business news.
But me, I'm going to the villa.
As Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima set for Aso Rock, our hope is renewed. His words are his bonds. Our economy will be rejigged, our security guaranteed. Nigerians will be reunited. Ritian joins other Nigerians that attested to his credibility and integrity to welcome and congratulate the 16th President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jinx Breaker. It's a new dawn, Nigeria. This message is powered by Dr. Musa Mohammed, Metakobi 1, the National President, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, Ritian.
REFARM is the umbrella association of the over 12 million Nigerian rice farmers. Through the administration of good and quality extension services, the Nigerian rice farmer has imbibed good agronomic practices, as a result of which the average yield per hectare, which used to be 1 ton as at 2015, is today 5 metric tons. This has resulted to the increase of the national production from 3 million per annum to 9 million tons per annum. As a result of this, today Nigeria is the largest producer of rice in Africa. Since the beginning of 2015, or the beginning of Anko Bora program, Nigeria has officially not imported any rice into the country. All these successes could not have been achieved without the political will of Mr. President.
Men do not like overconfident women.
Don't touch me without my permission.
I'm a playful guy and I do get carried away sometimes.
You are selfish, manipulative, and you are a narcissist.
After all I've done for you.
What have you done for me?
Look, she called me barren.
You know my mom doesn't know any better, right?
You say that now, but then when you see your mother, you start to act like you're deaf and dumb.
You were supposed to be more careful.
I've been.
Clearly not enough.
Audio.
We sincerely apologize for that little hitch in the business news presentation, and that's how Network News has been today. Thank you so much for your time. I am Jummai Yusuf. Have a pleasant night.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
Driving the arena.
It
depends on the velocity of the rain.
There's the start and get. Promises to Cheryl. It's up that left hand.
Archbishop of basketball, goal! He hung on that net like a stalk up a tree.
NTA Sports 24 brings you all sports, all time and all day. Tune in to watch NTA Sports 24 on Star Times Channel 270, Star Sat on Channel 434 and Free TV on Channel 731. NTA Sports 24, where sports thrive.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International, your window to the world.
Information is power.